and welcome to Amazons et al. On Trust TV with me, Aisha Umar Yusuf. Our guest broke a record when she quit her job just hours after becoming a director in our nation's Apex Bank. But she soon became a steadfast lady and continued to serve the nation in a different way. A veteran banker, an administrator, she's also a wife, a grandmother, and a Scion of a Katsina royal house. I know you'd like to know her, so remain with us after this short break and do so. Yeah, welcome to Amazons et al. Your Excellency Hajiya Hadiza Abubakar. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Okay, thank you. You're obviously a woman of numerous accomplishments. Can you tell us how it all began? What's the story of your childhood?
Well, alhamdulillah, I would say my childhood was very eventful.
Okay.
I have very good memories growing up with my parents. My father had time for us. When we were young, we used to dub him as a disciplinarian.
Okay.
But he was there for us all through. He would take you to school, bring you back home, ensure that you do your homework because he's the teacher at home.
Okay.
Ensure that you have taken your meals, goes to your room to see that your mosquito net is tucked in.
Oh.
And our mothers too were there for us too. They were very loving and we cherished every moment of it. We had all the attention because at a point it was only me and my senior brother.
Okay.
Later on, I think about the gap between me and the third child in the family was about 5 years.
Okay.
So all the attention was on us. And I in particular remember that my father used to take us home to Katsina.
Okay.
Whenever he was on his annual leave. He would take us round to all the other small villages where we would meet our relations.
Okay.
But back home in Katsina, whenever we were on leave, our house would be packed full with children.
Yes.
Because my mother had a gramophone.
Okay.
And children used to come and enjoy
the music.
The music.
Yes.
So, and we did quite a lot with our parents.
It was a happy time.
In particular, I remember it was quite an experience when my father was learning to drive.
Yes.
He used to go with us. He would put us in the car and go with us to learn how to drive.
I see.
They were there for us.
Okay.
And at the end, towards the end, we had to go to live with our grandparents at their request.
Yes.
It was a totally different experience.
Yes.
It was a larger family, cousins, uncles, and I had to learn to be independent and tough to survive the situation, having come from
a nuclear family.
A nuclear family,
yes.
Now to the extended family. But I'm very happy that I did that. It shaped my attitude and my thinking later in life towards a lot of things.
I see. I see. So you're educated up to master's level, and I wonder, in those days, mostly when you're through with secondary school, the marriage card is dangled in front of you.
Yes.
Did you take a lot of convincing for your parents to agree to let you further your education?
Like I said, from primary school to secondary school, I was following the footsteps of my senior brother. It was like a hot competition.
Yes.
Wherever he went, I would step. Okay.
Yes.
So when we finished secondary school and it was time to go to the university, my father had no objection for me to go to the university. But the larger family, his brothers, his senior brothers,
yes,
didn't want me to go to university. They advised against me going to the university because of the belief then that usually girls, when they go to the university, they become wayward.
Yes.
So my father called me and talked to me. He said he really wanted me to go to the university because I was doing well in school. But his brothers didn't want me to go to school because of the fear that I will bring shame to the family. So he was in a sort of a dilemma.
Yes.
So I now looked at him. I said, if he allowed me to go to university, I promised him that I was never ever going to do anything that will bring shame to him or to the family.
Yes.
And he believed me. And from that point, I went to the university and I never looked back.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say later on, I became a point of reference in the family.
I see.
Any girl that was not doing well in school, they will now ask her, don't you want to be like Hadiza?
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I'm glad to say I proved a point that when girls go to the university, they don't become wayward unless it is their desire to do so.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how come your brother and you were in the same class in primary school and then the same in SBS at ABU? Were you running after him or was he lagging around behind to be with you? I don't know how.
Actually, it's a long story.
Okay.
But let me give you the short of it.
Yes.
I have earlier pointed out that at a time there were only two of us in the house.
Yes.
So we were
always together,
like playmates, and we were doing everything together.
Yes.
When it was time for him to be enrolled in primary school, of course it wasn't my time to go.
Yes.
But I didn't understand why they would take him to school and leave me at home.
Okay.
I think I made a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, my father decided that we should both go.
Okay.
He sought for a favor from the school to allow me to be going to the class on a temporary basis, with the understanding that at the end of the day, when we come next year, I will now be properly registered in the class. So that's how it started.
Okay.
So we were going to school, the same class and everything.
Yes.
Now, fortunately, when it was time for my brother to go to primary 2 and for me to be enrolled in primary 1, we changed schools. Having left the...
When you started?
No, having left the area we were living.
Okay, I see.
We went to another place to live in Kano.
Yes.
So we went to another school.
Okay.
So we had to do an interview.
Yes.
To be enrolled into
the new school.
Yes. For him, primary 2, for me,
primary 1.
Primary 1.
Yes.
So when we did the interview, then the interview was ABCD, and it was in a song ABCD. I knew it all.
Yes.
To count, I knew it all.
Okay.
I was plump. I was a little bit bigger than him.
I see.
So they now looked at it and said, well, since she knew everything about the interview and we came together and he was going to class 2, why didn't we just put them in class 2 together? So that's
you ended up as classmates.
So we ended up as classmates.
I see.
Yes.
That's nice. So your late father read pharmacy at a time when his contemporaries were more into liberal arts like politics, history, administration and stuff. Did he ever tell you why he chose science as opposed to what the generality were doing?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I never had the opportunity to find out from him why he studied pharmacy. The only thing I know is he finished from Bariwa College, Zaria.
Yes.
And I think all his contemporaries then were, I think there was something pushing them, moving them as an inspiration for them to do very well in different fields in different endeavors.
Yes.
So I think he must have picked
pharmacy.
Some of them read medicine and became doctors. Some of them joined the military. So I never really got to hear it from him.
I see.
Why he read pharmacy.
I see. So you got married soon after your graduation from Ahmadu Bello University,
yes.
Zaria. What was it like combining, your career pursuits and raising a young family? How did you juggle that?
I must confess, it's not very easy,
Yes.
but it's doable.
Yes.
Especially when you have a supportive family structure.
Yes.
My husband was very supportive of me, and at each point in my career, I had one sibling or the other staying with me. A lot of my sisters stayed with me,
yes.
so they were there to help me supervise the nannies.
Okay.
When I go to work, I was lucky to be able to concentrate and do the job in the office. And then when I come back home, I switch off from the office and now concentrate to do my responsibilities at home.
Okay.
I must say I have been very lucky.
Yes.
And I'm grateful to all my family members, including the family members of my husband, who are also there for us to support me to take care of the children.
Okay. And you've been married for over 4 decades. You have grandchildren to show for it. I want to know, what's the one thing about your husband that you think is you can easily say was the reason for your marriage to be a success? Like if you're advising some young women now, what would you say they should look out for in a husband?
Well, the first thing is the love. It's given.
Yes.
You can't marry somebody you don't love.
Yes.
So, but aside that, you need somebody that shows you a lot of respect.
Yes.
And then somebody who is committed to the relationship.
Yes.
Because your love will be put to test.
Yes.
As different challenges will come up.
It's true.
And they will put your love to test. But it is that commitment to the relationship that will make you succeed in getting over those challenges.
Yes.
So for me, it's the commitment and the respect.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there is this general belief that the average Nigerian woman is very poor. As a state first lady, I'm sure you've interacted with women from different strata of society. Do you think this is true? And how can we help the situation?
Unfortunately, yes, it is true. My interaction, especially at the grassroots level, showed that the women are the economically poor.
Okay.
And I must say it's one of the reasons that motivated me to even establish an NGO that will, with the goal of improving the living standards of women, children, and the vulnerable in our society. Yes. Because when you interact closely to the women, you will see that what they need is empowerment through skills training and education to make them independent, to make them useful to themselves and to their families and to the community at large. So it's a true assessment when we say that the women are poor.
Yes.
It's a true assessment. Most especially when you are talking about the grassroots level.
So you quit your job as a director at the CBN just a few hours after you became promoted, and I believe you broke a record by doing that. So why didn't you stay behind to enjoy your promotion?
Okay, that's a long story too. Before I became a director, a 1-day director, as you said, the central bank had taken a decision to transit to the new Pension Reform Act.
Yes.
That required all employees to open pension accounts, with pension fund administrators. In the alternative, if you want to remain a CBN pensioner, there was a window for you to exit the bank, given 18 months notice.
Okay.
So I chose to take that window. I took that opportunity because before that time, I had toyed with the idea of resigning from the central bank to pursue other personal endeavors. So for me, it was a good opportunity at the right time.
Okay.
So I tendered my intention to resign, to take a voluntary exit. And within the period, before the expiration of the notice, I was due for a promotion. I attended a promotion interview. And as God will have it, I was successful at the interview. And the decision of the board then was, regardless of the fact that I was exiting the bank, since an appraisal was being done over 3 years past performance, the board felt that I deserved to go with the position. So I was appointed a director a day before the expiration of my notice. And then the very next day, I exited the bank. Yes.
That's a nice one. So tell us about your royal roots. How are you related to the Katsina Emirate?
I'm a Dallazawa. And the Dallazawa are the descendants of Umarun Dallaji, who was the flag bearer of Shehu Usman Danfodio. And also after the jihad, and also the first Fulani emir of Katsina. And history has it that the Dallazawas ruled Katsina for 100 years. So that is the connection. But as it is now, it's not the Dallazawas that are ruling Katsina. So I'm not related to the present ruling house of Katsina. I think it's ruled by the Sulubawa now.
That's the clan.
Yes.
So your NGO recently did a conference on women's role in curbing insecurity. What exactly do you do in that organization?
Broad, the NGO, the name of the NGO is Broad Sustainable Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Initiative. It used to be Bauchi Sustainable Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Initiative, because the target was for the women
Bauchi State.
of Bauchi State. But when we came back to Abuja, we rebranded and did a change of name. The Broad implies that we are now opening up, and the target is the scope is now
national,
urban and rural women in Nigeria. The vision of the NGO is to position women to contribute their quota to the growth and development of society, and to amplify their voices to speak for peace and security. So drawing from that objective, the objective of peace, carrying out programs and activities that will foster peace in the society. So drawing from that objective now, we decided to do a conference. And the theme of the conference was the role of women in curbing insecurity.
So I know you have children and grandchildren, and can you tell me more about them? Tell us more about them.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed. I'm married to His Excellency Muhammad Abdullahi Abubakar, and Allah has blessed us with 5 children. All of them are grown-ups. They have finished university.
MashaAllah.
The first 3 are married. 2 are not married, but they are working. All of them are graduates, Alhamdulillah. And between the 3 that are married, Alhamdulillah, again, Allah has blessed us with 10 adorable grandchildren.
Oh, mashallah.
Yes.
Yes, that's good. So do you have any political ambition of your own, or you just want to continue supporting your husband?
No, I don't have any political ambition.
Okay.
Mine is just a supportive role.
Okay.
That reminds me that my colleagues from the central bank,
yes,
when they heard that I was in Bauchi, into politics, some of them challenged me and said, you said you wanted to retire from CBN to pursue other personal endeavors. Why are you now into politics? And I told them that I'm not into politics as such, but my husband is into politics.
Yes.
If he was a big-time farmer, you would have found me
in the farm.
So I support him in whatever
he does.
Okay. So that's how it is. Yes.
So what was it like moving from your very private life to all that campaigning, you know, going to the villages? I think you did all that.
I did.
And then having to, of course, at the end of the day, attend meeting with the women. Give us a feel of what it's like to transit from your private life to that very public.
Okay. For those who know me, I'm a very private person, and a lot of people were surprised how I easily transited from that private life to the life of being a politician's wife.
Yes.
One. But also, for those who know me, I don't do anything in half measures.
Okay.
Anything I will do it to the best of my ability, and I will give it my all.
Yes.
So when I found myself in politics, supporting my husband, I gave it my all.
Thank you.
And right from the onset, at the beginning, what my husband wanted was for me to deal with the women, and then he will now deal with the men.
Yes, okay.
So any group of women that went to him, he would tell them to come and see me. So from the onset, I now rose up to the occasion. I rose up to the challenge to handle women issues.
Yes.
I did a tour of the 20 local governments of Bauchi State to enable me interact with women groups, religious leaders, community leaders, so that I had a first-hand assessment of what the issues were and what the women needed.
Yes.
So I was able to interact with them. I went there with a sense of purpose. I went there with sincerity. For me, it wasn't that I was playing politics or I was giving promises. For me, I saw a God-given opportunity to contribute my quota to help the women.
Yes.
So that's what made it easy for me. And whenever I sat to discuss with the women, I talk from my heart. I was really sincere about seeing to it that we uplift the standard of women, we improve their living standards.
Yes.
So it came naturally. I remember a politician asked me, she said, I was made to understand that you were a banker.
Yes.
While there as a banker, did they teach you how to deal with people? I said, no. I learned interpersonal skills while I was working.
Yes.
So it's very easy for me to interact with everybody.
Yes.
And I must say it was difficult.
Yes.
It was a challenge.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I gained people. I gained experience. I learned a lot from that.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think your master's in public administration had maybe kind of groomed you for this?
Will I say is the masters that groomed me? No.
Okay.
I will say more. It's the when I served with the NTA for 10 years.
I see.
And for that 10 years, I was in the administration department.
I see.
When I left, I was the manager administration before I left NTA. And when I went to the central bank, I was in the branch operations department and later on in the human resources department. So along the way, I have learned to handle people issues. I have learned to interact with people. I have learned to listen. I had learned to have empathy. So all that helped me in the political setting, because what the people needed was somebody who would listen to them, somebody who would provide solutions, somebody who was accommodating, because if you don't come down to their level, there's no way that you will have any meaningful discussion or understanding. So I had to do that, to come down to their level, to understand them, to listen to them, and to try to find solutions to the problems, that they brought up.
So what advice do you have for young Nigerian women? Any special?
My advice for the younger ones, especially the women, is for them to dream their dreams, to dream big.
Yes.
But then take it one step at a time until they realize their maximum potential. The confidence must be there. You have to believe in yourself first before somebody believes in you. So you have to have that confidence. You have to know what you want. You have to know where you want to be. You have to know what you want to become. And then there is nothing wrong in dreaming big.
Yes.
Dream big and then take it one step at a time and you will get there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Yes. So thanks very much for being with us. I'm sure you had a good time listening to Hajiya Hadiza Abubakar and the story of her life. I hope you'll be with us next week and meet another Amazon. Until then,